G'day YouTube, how the heck we doing? It is Foul Play here, and we're back for the fifth and final match of this Pauper League. We lost the die roll for the fourth match in a row, and oh god. Oh no, it's Elves. Well, Elves is a pretty bad matchup as well, but at least it's not Ponza. This hand is like awful into Ponza. Arguably, like, should have been... Oh, it's Wolves. Okay, it's Wolves. Let's play that. Let's... I think we Rancor here. I think we attack and look to trade with our opponent's Timberwatch Elf. I don't think they're going to do this. Alright, cool. Now we can Lotus Petal, Abundant Growth on our Ash Barrens. And I'm supposed to play out a Bogle there. I'm a fool. I accidentally skipped through that. Alright, Quarian Ranger. Untap, bouncing the forest, playing the forest. Is it lead the Stampede? Timberwatch Elf. Okay. This is going to get out of hand pretty fast. Yep, attacking for 6 damage. Hey, look, I wish we had a chump blocker on the board right now, but I'm over here busy misplaying. I don't know about you guys. All right, so throw down Utopia Sprawl. All right, let's see if our opponent wants to trade off any of their creatures here. Quarian Ranger off the board would be a win. Timberwatch Elf off the board would be a win. Both these creatures are helping our opponent win more, so I'm happy to attack into that. Ledgewalker, Bogle, and pass. So this is obviously not a very good matchup to have so many bloody lands, right? So many creatures, so much mana. We want some enchantments here. Target creature gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of elves on the battlefield. Alright, well, it's interesting. We do get to trade off with one of them, one of these creatures. They've got the Timberwatch Elf there. Short of a mutagenic growth, which I'm unsure they'll have. Oh, they untap? Okay, so they just have the kill regardless. Okay. That's fine. That was an extremely fast hand from our opponent, and we can't be expected to compete with that. Alright, so here we can see an Elves deck, although in actuality we saw exactly what it did in the previous match. They play a bunch of creatures and attack for a fair bit. This is not Elves. This is mono green aggro. Pardon me, here we see the Elves deck. So they have a bunch of creatures. They have those 2 creatures which buff their creatures. They have Lead the Stampede and Distant Melody to refill their hand. And in the sideboard, they have access to Enchantment Hate, basically. So Gleeful Sabotage, and they can Conspire, tap 2 creatures that are untapped, and destroy an additional artifact or enchantment. Reminder guys, if you find this video entertaining or informative, please consider subscribing. So in this matchup, we want Standard Barrier. So when their Timberwatch Elf goes to +1 of their creatures, it has to target the Standard Bearer instead. We'll take out Silhana Ledgewalkers for that as an efficiency swap. Ancestral Mask is really good. Speed and everything. No creature, we have to mulligan. This hand. Cycle Forest. Cartouche, we've got 1 mana. Yeah, this isn't a keep. Alright, I guess we'll go on this. Bottom Ash Barrens, bottom Lotus Petal. And we're very uninteractive with our opponent, but we don't have the luxury to be interactive. Against Dawnbringer Cleric decks, I'd typically bring in like a Crewfix's Insight. Obviously, our opponent could potentially bring in Gleeful Sabotages. I don't know if we have the time or the luxury to be that interactive with an opponent that's playing Elves, so I opted not to overboard, but that's certainly something that could be considered. Essence Warden from our opponent. So this is a lot slower than last game where it was pretty bloody savage. Alright. So plenty of mana. So they can literally unload their whole hand. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a Lead the Stampede here at the end of all of this. No Lead the Stampede. Alright, well, Armadillo Cloak seems pretty good. Let's attack for 5. Let's gain some life. And if we get to untap an Ancestral Mask, that'll be an extra 5 damage to hitting our opponent for 10 total. Alright, so a couple of creatures from our opponent into Distant Melody. It's amazing what our opponent can do off just literally one forest in hand. Priest untaps. What the heck is this one? Whenever you cast an elf spell, you may put a 1/1 green elf warrior token on the battlefield, lead the Stampede. Finding Quirion Ranger and Essence Warden. All this is going to get played. We're still at a decent spot. We're going to be at like 35. I guess our opponent could potentially kill us as soon as this guy untaps. And then they can use their Quirion Rangers to untap that creature again. This is really rough. Oh my god. What is this absolute shenanigans? Oh, and Gleeful Sabotage, ready to just wreck our entire board state. Okay, well, that's game. Yeah, I don't care who you are, that's game. I'm not playing on from there. Alright, well, that league was pretty damn brutal. It started off really well with like the 2-0, right? And then we just lost 3 games in a row. I will say it's very unfortunate low rolling 4 of the die rolls. You'd expect to at least win 2 most leagues. On average, you're winning 2.5 die rolls a league, right? That's the way this works. So that certainly didn't help. We came up against a couple of tough matchups, like the Fairies matchup. We got a bit blown out for, even though we have this Scattershot Archer tech. I do hate losing to Fairies, so I like to be prepared, but yeah, it didn't quite cut it this league. I would say there was one corner case where we might have wanted a... So yeah, there was one spot where the Citizen Training could have been useful. Up against that mono white deck with the Prismatic Strands, where we were looking to top deck a card. We had 5 mana available. We were looking to top deck a card so we could add an enchantment to the battlefield and still draw the Flaring Pain to have the damage to kill our opponent. Turns out that wouldn't have mattered anyway because they just had like enchantment destruction regardless. So yeah, that was never going to work. But you know, the corner case was there for Citizen Training to be used over Rancor. The other side of things is Rancor, you get 3-4 attacks with it. It's an extra 3 or 4 damage. You might kill your opponent a turn earlier. Yeah, overall, I think we just have to continue pumping out volume with the deck and trying to get those results. I think the nature of the deck is it's a tier 2 deck in Pauper, and you're never going to have an insanely amazing win rate. But hopefully you can steadily just go even, go positive, return your prizes and continue playing for free. That's the plan. That's the goal, right? All right, guys, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Be sure to let me know what you think of the deck list in the comment section below. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you then.